Welcome back to Crescent City Community College to work on your Master's in the Maasverse. Our current course is focused on Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah Janet Maas. Today we're chatting chaps 33 through 40. And today's episode is sponsored by your friends over at Bookish Wine.
Warning, while we may be your silly gal pals, we don't recommend listening to this podcast around little ears or ears that may be offended because we say bad words and shitty things. So, Blake, have you heard of Bookish Wines? I keep seeing them everywhere.
Well, actually, calling all book drags and wine sluts, what's better than getting lost in a magical realm with hottie faves and a fiddle jams? Getting lost with a glass of perfect wine without fiddles and blonde men while in sweatpants. That's the entire idea behind Bookish Wine. They're a quarterly subscription box dedicated to the bitchin' genre of romantasy, and I'm obsessed. Every 3 months, you get a special edition romantasy book and a bespoke artisan craft bottle of wine that is custom made to match the world and theme of the exact book. They do the pairing, so all you have to do is sip, read, and escape into fantasy realms. The wine label is also artist designed to complement the featured book. And yes, they use artists, not AI. Ready to upgrade your reading nights? Head over to www.bookishwine.com. That's BOOKISHWINE.com. Use our code BlakelyKylie at checkout to receive a signed copy of the December book, which is Child of Chevet, one of my favorite books of the entire year, and start reading, sipping, and subscribing today.
Now relax those shoulders, unclench those jaws, clench that clam, and let's get into it. We got hand motions today.
Shahatster 33. Hunt took a little trip to the oracle's chamber. The oracle wondered aloud when the shadow death would make a visit. She walked out of the shadows, and Hunt was shooketh to find that she was a beautiful, that's with a B, a beautiful Sphynx. No one knew her name. Hunt wondered if she was so old that she'd forgotten her true name. She tells him to ask his questions, and she will tell him what the smoke whispers to her. Hunt is like, cool, but like, what I say here is Captain the DL, right? She tells him, once the gods speak, I become the conduit through which their words pass. But yeah, I'm keeping it. Oh, but yeah, I'm keeping it a secret. So he asks, why does someone want Luna's horn? A rasping voice slithered out of the smoke. To open the doorway between worlds. They wish to reopen the northern rift. The horn's purpose wasn't merely to close doors, it opens them too. It depends on what the bearer wishes. Hunt is like, yeah, but it's broken. She tells him it can be healed, but she can't tell him how because it's veiled. She can't see it. None can see it. And the Fae legends that say it can't be repaired are just that, legends. This is the truth. It can be repaired.
What if Sphynxes are like where you go in the afterlife? Like that's actually Aelin.
Oh, yeah, she forgot her OG name.
Yep.
Who's they?
Not that I believe that at all. Completely rogue theory. But what if?
What if?
So is it Ogenis? Ogenis?
Who's to say?
Keeper of Mysteries. The name for the ocean goddess. Queen O.
Queen O.
Good for her. The ocean here on Earth is vastly undiscovered, so it's a mystery. In this book specifically, the the mer people are fairly secretive and we don't know much about them. So it's a really clever name for a god that we can't say the name of.
The O. The big O.
Literally, the ocean's huge. The big O.
Mm-hmm. So Sphynx, they symbolize power, protection, and mystery. And the Egyptian Sphynx often represented the sun god, which, as we know, a lot of sun god stuff in this frickin' book. The Greek version was a murderous riddle master.
The way you said Sphynx was giving Kyle Richards.
Every time I say Sphynx, I actually think of the classic Gone in 60 Seconds. which is a great movie.
I just think like you little minx. That's what I think of
Yeah,
when we.
I have
And
a
I
hard
want to
yeah. Sphynx. I'll get it.
say plural. Sphinxes. Is that
Sphinx.
correct? Or
It's a
sphinx?
Sphynx eye. The pearl. Pearl? Not even plural.
I mean, is it like a moose situation?
Wait, what
Because
is
you don't say niece.
oh,
Moose is plural and singular, so it's sphinx for. This is
multiples?
an educational podcast. The things that we should know.
But we don't because we're also idiots. Hunt asks her who wants to open the doorways, and she tells him that it's failed. He's like, real helpful. She's like, be grateful, Lord of Lightning. Do you wish to know what I see in your future, Orion Athalar? Which shocked the hell out of him because no one has called him that in 200 years. She's like, okay, but do you want me to tell you what I see? He's like, I'm good. This really grinded her gears. And she was like, did that bitch Bryce Quinlan tell you what happened in this chamber of not secrets 12 years ago? Hunt isn't interested in the drums, though, and tells her it's none of his beeswax. She tells him, you remind me of which was lost long ago. I had not realized it might ever appear again. Did you like my voice? It felt
I
very.
did. I was thinking like we got an after here.
Look at me go. She started walking, but decided to drop a bomb first. Do yourself a favor, Orion Applar. Keep well away from Bryce Quinlan. Da, da, da.
When she says, be grateful, Lord of Lightning, that title, his mouth went dry. It's like, there's so much more to this man.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wonder why he gave up his government name because no one has spoken that name in 200 years. Like, why give up your government name? It's a nice one.
It also makes me wonder because Lord of Lightning, was he really referred to that during like Shahar during the rebellion? Or is there another meaning for Lord of Lightning that other people called him that we yet don't know?
It makes me think of that episode of Friends. What is it? Chandler, he's like Lord of some. There's like, God, there's an
Lord of the Dance?
something like similar of that. Like it just makes me think of Chandler when I read
Well,
Lord of.
what gives Chandler the bejesus or it's
Yeah,
Lord
this is my thought. Thank you. Thank you for completing my.
or Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You
So just
completed my thought. You can carry on.
I'm glad I can. Refresher on Orion. In Homer's Odyssey, Orion was the goat in hunting. He was able to hunt anything in existence. You also can take a look at his love life, which could go really towards Shahar or Bryce, depending. So we'll get back with that.
So much more on Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the constellation, but also hunt.
Mm-hmm.
The Sphinx also said, you remind me of that which was long ago. I had not realized it might ever appear again. What
Mm-hmm.
do you mean, little lady?
Like, are you going to tell us? No.
Like, that's so vague. It could be so many different things, like magic that was lost long ago, lovers.
Lords of Hell?
Yeah, there
Yep.
was just so much that this could mean. It was rude.
So it really is a chamber of secrets. She's a liar.
Really big Harry Potter fan, Sarah
Mm-hmm.
Janet.
Mm-hmm.
No last
And
names
the
here.
Sphynx. The Sphynx really loves JK. She's a big Rowling gal.
Rowling.
Rowling. We're on one today.
Chapter 34. I don't know why I always get so into it. I'm like head bobbing. It's my jam. Bryce and Rune waited at the edge of Oracle Park for Hunt. When he showed up, he looked like shit and told them if someone has learned how to repair the horn after so long, then they can do the opposite of what Prince Peleus, not to be confused with Pelican, did. They can open the Northern Rift. It seems like one L of a motive to kill anyone who might rat them out. They go back and forth about the Acolytes' involvement in all this, and whether or not the Ophion or even the Kara's sect are seeking the horn to aid in their rebellion. But they know that they need help from Veneer to summon the demon. Hunt suggested the witches, but Rune said that those hoes are loyal. So just to back that up, the witches obey the Asteri. They've had millennia of unbroken loyalty. So Crescent City is in their 15,000s for years. So their loyalty is interesting, which we'll learn more about witches in chapter 39. But I just wanted to point out, like, their loyalties last a long time, and why. Rune tells them he isn't sure he could even use the horn since his starborn power is a little weak. He suggests maybe a medwitch will have some insight. Bryce points out that they people, not objects, and the book you found in the gallery's library said the horn could only be repaired by light that is not light, magic that is not magic. But Hunt points out legends, not truth. Faye in their damn exact verbiage. So Rune said he's going to look into it. Apparently, Hunt has been giving Bryce weird eyes all afternoon until he bursts and asks why the Oracle told him to stay the hell away from her. Apparently, she's still pissed at Bryce. Bryce tells us more about Fae culture and why they go to the Oracle. In Fae culture, when girlies bleed for the first time or turn 13, they go to an Oracle and figure out what kind of power situation they got going on inside. And so they can plan power couples. It's a mouthful. Boys go at age 13 as well. It's just a traditional thing to figure out careers these days. Now, knowing that, we get Bryce's story. Her mom had this crisis, this sudden fear that she'd shut Bryce off from a part of her heritage. She called up the Thotem King. 2 weeks later, the document showed up declaring her a full Sphynix. It came with a catch, though. She had to claim Sky and Breath as her house. She didn't want to, but wanted to meet him. So she goes to meet him, and he takes her to the Oracle. She describes it as catastrophic and tells Hunt when the Oracle looked into her smoke, she screamed, clawed at her eyes, and I heard later that she went blind for a week. She then tells Hunt how her sexy dad went out to the VIP exit so he wouldn't have to be seen and then dumped her shit at the curb. Hunt asks about Rune's involvement in the situation, and Bryce tells him that the king forbade Rune from interfering, but he did give a care and he did try. Bryce switches gears and asks if Hunt has found anything. Well, I'll be damned. He has. A terracotta vase dating back 15,000 years after Prince Peleus, not to be confused with Prince Pelican. Man, I love saying that, by a century. But looks like the Crystallis was still around. Apparently, this vase is in Mercia, a sea and 2,000 miles beyond Lunation. And I just want to point out that she didn't say the same continent as Pangera, and obviously not Valvara. Also, this city is never mentioned again. And Blake, you mentioned that you think that there is more to this world, and I do too. We have maps of Aurelia, the southern continent, Prythian, Hybern, but with this series, we only get the city of Lunation, and I just wonder what is being hidden from us in this world.
I was looking even more into this, and I'm absolutely convinced. In Tower of Dawn, they describe the surroundings of Antica, or now I'm second guessing myself, so that's on brand. She could spy olive groves and wheat fields just outside the city. In Lunation, the olive groves and the little farms that line distant hills beyond the city borders. Now, as for the climate, Antica, if the arid climate didn't dry up the sweat. Lunation, with the arid climate, summer storms were usually swift. It just is more and more convincing, and I can go into this even more, but I have to wait.
We are building your case that they are the same land. Oh, it's my chapter. They look at the photos and see the Crystallis demon roaring as a sword is driven through its head by a helmeted male warrior. Hunt points out that this proves that it can be killed the old-fashioned way without magic or special artifacts. Bryce isn't buying it, though. Hunt then says, that's odd. It says the vase is originally from Parthos. He angled his head. I thought Parthos was a myth, a human fairy tale. He's like, tell me you don't believe that conspiracy crap about an ancient library in the heart of a pre-existing human civilization. When she didn't answer, Hunt challenged, if something like that did exist, where's the evidence? Then points out the vase was made by a nymph. Bryce defends Parthos, and Hunt is shocked. When Hunt is ranting about Parthos, Bryce zipped her amulet along the chain and nodded toward the image on the screen. Once again, we're being reminded of the amulet and her need to touch it even when there's just a mention of a Crystallos. Hunt asked, where's the evidence? And then she started touching the amulet, the signs like you just didn't notice.
The first read, yeah. And especially when you're looking for them, they're there. She writes them. And an ancient library in the heart of a pre-existing civilization? I've never heard of one of those in the Maasverse. Just kidding. Just K? Just K. That's what I said. Just K. Just proving my point about being on the southern continent. What library was in Antica? I'm going to get it eventually. In Throne of Glass. Now, this is an even harder word for me. The Tor Chesme. You know, where the healers go. Anyways, it's the same. I'm convinced. Kesme?
I
Tor,
always read it with Torquesme.
Kesme.
But I also really struggled with Kale's name for a long time, and so I'm not your gal to ask.
True that. We're both not the gals to ask.
Educational podcast, but we are not linguists at all.
No.
It's Hunt's turn to switch gears and ask about the data about Danica's location, but then he gets a call. Bryce tells Hunt that the only outlier is that she was on sentry duty at the temple that night because she was never specifically stationed there. Hunt hangs up his phone and tells Bryce that they get to question Philip Briggs in an hour. He checks in with Bryce and lets her know that he will be a dick about Danica. Bryce is like, I'm A-okay. They were to leave in 20. Lahaba tries to tell Bryce that Hunt just wants to be their friend and that it's time Bryce makes more friends, but she's just not into it. Bryce did whatever she needed to do to get her emotions in check before questioning Briggs. I think it's B names that I want to say in like a snotty tone. Because like I said Briggs in like a sassy, not sassy, but kind of snotty Briggs. But like it's the role of the B.
Yeah, you just really enjoyed that. So when Lahaba tells her that Rune and Hunt are nice, but Danica was always mean to her, biting, snarling, or ignoring her, I wonder why. Like, that doesn't pass the vibe check for me. Like, why are you being such a bitch?
Yeah, what did she know? Like, what did she have against the sprite?
Yeah,
Like my girl, that would make me not like Danica. I love their friend. I love that Bryce and Danica are besties, but her being mean to Lahaba would set me the fuck off because I love Lahaba.
well, it makes me feel like she would also be mean to waiters.
Oh, she is like a low tipper.
I mean, look who she was raised by. Like,
She wouldn't put her grocery cart away.
no, she's above it.
Not a turn signal gal.
No, can't be bothered.
Damn, I hope not.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a red flag for me, right?
I mean, we're literally about to get into a little bit more of her character. So, like, I do think she'd put her grocery cart away, but I do think she'd be mean to waiters. I think that there would be a fine line for her.
Yeah, like she cares about human rights and stuff like that, but obviously has some preconceived.
But
She's,
don't talk to me.
yeah, she's a little racist towards those sprites, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I guess. Is it classism or racism?
They're a different race, so it could be a little
Yeah.
bit. Oh,
Danica.
Chip Chap 35. They took a little field trip to visit Philly B, aka Phil Briggs. Let's just say he didn't look great. He had sad boy eyes, empty and hopeless. He had no idea what day it was, and he was shocked that it had only been 2 years, which just makes you think the number that they were doing on this poor guy. Bryce tells them they have a few questions to ask him because the White Raven was bombed a few days ago, and since that was one of his prime rage teas, did you write that or did I? Did you change it? I meant Target.
Where?
But I just
No,
wrote
that's
teas.
amazing.
Some prime rage teas was there. Evidence points towards Sakara's being active again. Billy B is like, bitch, I don't even know what year it is. How the fuck could I be behind it? She's like, what about your followers? He's like, why bother? I failed them, failed our people, and failed people like you, the undesirables. Bryce is like, fuck you. You don't represent me. He's like, really? After how terrible they treat you and people like you? He does have a point, to be honest, but he's just kind of a shitty person. Hunt is like, so just to clarify, this wasn't you. And Philly B was like, nay, nay. The only people I see are the ones who take me apart like a cadaver and then stitch me back up again and smooth everything away. You know what this reminds me of? Tog. The little Kingdom of Ash situation.
My mind went to Buffalo Bill.
Not the same. Not the same. So, educational podcast. Hunt is like, okay, so your followers wouldn't be bombing the nightclub in revenge. And Philip is like, against who? Hunt is like, us, for investigating Danica Fender's murder and looking for Luna's horn. Philly B is like, so the assholes in the 33rd finally realized I didn't kill her. Briggs actually liked Danica. Bryce was like, what do you mean you liked her? He told her that Danica had been circling him and his men for weeks and even met with them twice and told them to stop their plans. He didn't listen, and that was that. Bryce couldn't imagine Danica going easy on him. He told her that he didn't think she agreed with his methods, but sympathized with the cause. Bryce was like, no, she wasn't a rebel sympathizer. Briggs told her, maybe not yet, but she was starting down that path. Hunt said, you never mentioned any of this when you were arrested? Philly B was like, I ain't no rat. Plus, I needed the cause to live on. I kept her secrets to myself. He doubled down that he had nothing to do with the murders of Danica and the pack of devils. Bryce abruptly ended the meeting. Philly B was like, you are one of the fallen? Mad respect, bro. We'll bring those fuckers down someday, brother. That's what he said. Word for word.
Word for word. So going back to Danica's character, like what a jarring bit of information. You spend all this time like hating him to find out that he and Danica were like kind of homies. That would be like you and Guy Fieri starting a podcast and like leaving me behind.
Yeah.
I decided a long time ago that Guy Fieri was my arch nemesis. Like it was him slurping in a noodle. I wasn't interested. But I know he's a really good guy, but I just like passionately like hate him. But yeah, if you started a podcast with him, like that's how I would be like devastated. That's like the same
vibe for
same
you.
kind of
Yeah, I remember when I was in Vegas once and there was a poster of him and I sent him to you and you almost blocked me.
I should have.
And then I'd be having a podcast with Guy at this point if he would have done that.
You would be buddies. You'd talk about food and books and
He's like,
what bowl of spaghetti pairs with Tog.
He would have loved it.
When Bryce was telling Briggs that no Veneer died, she spoke with the imperiousness of a queen. It's like some foreshadowing, like she's destined to be some big shit.
Hunt asked Bryce who the next suspect is, but she ignored him. Noticed how pretty he was, but asked why he's being a grumpus. But he's like, nothing. They got some foods and then changed into a soft gray shirt, black sweats, not gray, unfortunately, and a backwards hat. Yum. She couldn't stop looking at him. He was like, what? She snapped a photo from his phone and sent it to herself. She's like, for realsies, what's wrong? He told her that it was a little triggering with Philly B and reminded him about how he led Shahar's rebellion. Bryce told him he's nothing like Briggs, and he's like, you don't know me. She's like, okay, tell me about your trauma, sir. My spelling in this? Top tier. But I'm not fucking up to that much, shockingly, with how terrible the spelling is.
You're definitely talking about the sexy, unique restaurant.
Yes, that's 100%. Where you bring your mistress wife. Hunt tells her that he was tortured for 7 years after Mount Hermon. He lost track of time because the Styria dungeons are so far beneath the earth and there is no light. He went to his first handler, Archangel Ramuel. Archangel Ramuel. There, we got it. Who did the same for 2 years, but then got bored and decided to have him hunt demons and then serve as an assassin. 9 years, the man didn't see sunlight. He tells her that the hatred is the only thing that fueled him through it. She takes his freaking hand and he doesn't take it back. She asks him if the hatred still gets him through it. He tells her, sometimes, but no. She tells him again that he is not a bad person, and they have a little moment while looking over the list of Danica's locations. They seriously could both be using a little sexual healing right now.
They just need to fuck.
100%. So while we were doing this, all of a sudden I text Kylie when this came up, and I was like, Archangel Ramuel. I was like, that sounds like Mount Ramiel from ACOTAR. So I said this to her, and then Kai did the work for me and copied and pasted it in here for me. So This is all
That's more chart.
this is all Kai doing the So Ramiel is a boy's name meaning thunder of God. One of the 7 archangels listed in the book of Enoch, Ramiel is considered to be the angel of hope, guiding faithful souls to heaven and watching over those who will be resurrected. Ramiel,
An angel, you say, though?
an angel. Ramiel, the sacred mountain, the heart of not only Illyria, but the entirety of the night court. None were permitted on its barren rocky slopes, save for the Illyrians, and only once a year at that, during the blood rite. Ramiel has always felt alive somehow, awake and watchful. It's the symbol of the night court. The blood rite always takes place when Arctos, Corinth, and Orestes are 3 holy stars shine above it for 1 week of a year. Of a year? A year. On the final day of the rite, they're directly above its peak. Ramuel is a unique and culturally significant name of Hebrew origin, meaning God has heard or God's messenger.
It's interesting that, it's coming back to stars. Obviously, the night court and constellations. It's like they're all interconnected. It's really crazy.
And you have always had a hard on for mountains. So these mountains in the Maasverse, they have some meaning.
I mean, they're sacred. They sure do.
But
even Mount Hermon is like a sacred mountain. Like,
Right.
that's what it means. So, love mountains.
I just don't think it's a coincidence that we have Archangel Ramuel and Ramiel, the mountain. They're just too close, in my opinion.
I agree.
Hunt says they're idiots, just like us, and they need to recheck the exterior cameras the night Luna's horn went missing outside the temple. Hunt starts questioning why Danica didn't let anybody know she was there that night. Bryce is like, I don't know. She didn't seem like she cared. I don't think she would have covered it up if she knew. More sexual tension. She asks who he wants to send the footage to, and he just smiles.
Hunt like tugs her braid here, and it's giving Josh calling Cher Pippi, or telling her she looks like Pippi Longstocking, but without the step sibling sexual tension. More wholesome sexual tension. This isn't your regular porn.
I forgot about that. I haven't watched that movie in a very long time.
I think about that movie too often, and I just saw an Alicia Silverstone interview about Clueless, so it was super fresh on my mind. Do they even have movies?
I don't know. They talk about TV shows. They don't talk about movies.
What if they don't have movies?
They never talk about it, so maybe. So you're telling me there's
they talk about concerts, they talk about ballet, they talk about TV shows and sports, but no movies.
Well, yeah, and even the TV shows are reality TV. They're just people. Do actors exist in this world?
Yeah, do scripted shows exist in the Maasverse?
Well, they don't in Tog or ACOTAR.
No. Well, they also don't have phones,
They don't really have drugs either,
In the other? Well, yeah, they do.
Not
Not ones that are fun.
That's what I meant. They're not rail in lines under the mountain. That would make it more fun.
I mean, not that they were talking about it.
Yeah, maybe it's hush hush.
Rhys doesn't give coke vibes. Dealer. He deals.
That's how he's so rich. That's how he's a billionaire.
Yes. Okay. Rhysand has a coke empire in Prithian.
And they actually run it out of the hewn city because he doesn't want to fuck up with Valaris, so he just runs it out there.
What a perfect spot to sell drugs out of.
We've figured out
We've figured it out.
Yeah.
That's why people feel like there's the people that feel like he's sketchy. It's his drug dealer side. It's not that he's supplying people with drugs, yeah, but he's got to make money for his people somehow.
Right. Do you think all of those clothes don't cost money? No, they do. So.
Yeah, everything has a price, okay?
And Nesta
Drug
drinks
lord.
a lot of wine. Nesta drinks a lot of wine. She's got to pay for it somehow. So he's got to deal drugs.
Yeah. She's one of his sellers.
And that's why he's mad at her because, like, she's fucked up a couple drug deals down at Rita's and stuff. And he's like, this fucking bitch can't even do it.
She was drinking, but really she was using some of the drugs. And so he's like, where's my profit, bitch? And that's why he's mad. She's messing with the bottom line.
She's getting high on the supply. She's not actually supplying.
Exactly. You guys, we figured it out.
Oh my God, we so figured it out. And like, we'll be like, oh, he's acting so much differently. He's not. It's just Nesta's point of view. And she fucked him over with his drugs.
Yeah. How do we think that this bitch did a blood right?
Right?
Drugs.
Obviously.
Like, no way her Fae powers would get her through the blood right. Like, she ain't that gal. No. Drugs.
It's so obvious.
Chapter 36. Bryce and Hunt track Rune and his pals at the sniper gallery, not after betting that they'd end up at a tattoo parlor or a bootleg grungy rock bar. They walk in after Hunt lovingly puts earmuffs on Bryce and see Lord Tristan Flynn ready to shoot and Declan Emmett talking shit about his shooting. I don't know why I got fancy. It was the Lord.
Yeah, the Lord.
I was like, I'd be fancy with the Lord.
Not to be confused with the drug lord.
No. Bryce gets into business. Is that why they're all actually lords? They're like, that's their job.
Lord of
We're so
lightning.
smart.
Lightning.
Lightning fast.
Yeah.
Bryce gets into it and tells them that this is a business meeting and it's super secretive. So she tells Rune to avoid telling his sexy daddy. She wants some footage from Luna's temple the night the horn was stolen, analyzed, but to do better than the croc-riddled angels did, he tells her to give him a few days. I love that Brunt.
Is that no, that's their couple name, Brunt. I fucking love Brunt.
I gave him another one in a later episode, so so I love that Bryce and Hunt bet on where the boys would be. I'm enjoying watching their relationship grow. It's a slow burn, but I'm really rooting for Brunt.
Who isn't? You know?
But can you fuck already?
Yeah.
Speaking of those boys, Declan and Flynn give off like golden retriever energy.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
really do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. I feel like they would get along with like Cassian a little bit. Like Cassian has some darkness,
Mine.
but they would like chill. They'd be homies for sure. Hunt being like, I would love nothing more than to grab some popcorn and beer and back a chair and watch her verbally fillet these assholes brings me joy. He's like, girl, talk your shit, bite your lip. Like, he really just loves Bryce and he just doesn't know it yet.
He's getting so turned on by it.
Mm-hmm. I like it. But like, fuck.
As long as, well, no, even when she shit talks to him, it's like, you know, he's getting a hard on too.
Totally.
Bryce talks shit, literally. And Rune tells Bryce to give a little demonstration for Athlar. Straight up government names him, which is sexy, but only when Rune does it. Bryce lines up her shot like the boss bitch she is and makes 3 shots through the same hole. That's what she said. Hunt is turned on by this. In fact, he and Bryce are having a moment. A weird one, but a wholesome for them moment. Hunt makes some eyes at her and also shoots through the hole. They start eye fucking when Hunt gets a call that there's been a murder, but not like a traitor's murder, a real murder in Asphodel Meadows. Meadows. I forgot the S. That butchered that whole place.
Metal.
Hunt's almost in my reverse harem for thinking how many males had run from this part of her, their alpha hole egos threatened by it. Hunt hated them and Hunt hated them all merely for putting the question in her eyes. And then, I see you, Quinlan, he silently conveyed to her, and I like all of it. Like, really showing her that he is her match. Like, that kindness. He's got 3 passes.
And if reminds me of when Dorian says to Kale, like, you can't pick and choose the parts of her that you love. Hunt loves Oliver. Not Oliver, all of her. Sorry, I didn't enunciate.
You know, they might have a white shoe moment later.
With Oliver
That's what you're talking
and
about. Oh, yeah. Also for, Hunt seeing her, when he lowered his gun, he found Bryce's cheeks flushed, her eyes like warm whiskey, a quiet sort of light shone in them. That light went out in her is like relit. Like Hunt did that. He did that for her. That's why he's earning so many fucking points. Cause like, man, I love Bryce this round. And he's good to her right now.
he's pretty,
Right now until he fucks her over.
but like, hold on. We don't need to get into it.
We will get into it, but
Yeah,
not today.
Not now. Yeah, not right now. Chap chap 3 to the 7. 37. The Fay boys started packing their shit ready to go to the Murder Inc. Hunt told them they would meet them there because he couldn't keep his eyes off our girl Brycey boy. Boy? I said Brycey boy. It's not a boy. And I think I said that because, like, when I refer to your cat, I think of it as Brucey boy in my head. So that's why I said Brycey boy. Alrighty. So Hunt told them that
my cat.
that's just what it comes.
Not my personal kitty, my pet cat.
Yeah, I don't. Your pet name for your personal kitty isn't Brucey boy. No. He could tell she was freaking out. Bryce is upset because someone died while they were dicking around tonight. God damn it. Hunt shut it down real quick and put the blame on where it belongs, the killer. Bryce tells him she wants to go to the crime scene and she needs to go, but she doesn't want Rune and his friends to see her like this. A fucking mess. Because it's none of their beeswax and all they will do is stick their noses where they don't belong. Hunt is like, true, true. True, true. Sound like I said choo choo. Choo choo. I meant to say true, true. Okay. Hunt is like, true, true, and takes her trembling hand in his. He gets her to calm the fuck down by doing some breathing techniques. She says she's as good as she will ever be, and he brushes back a tendril of her hair and says, me and you both, Quinlan. But a slow fucking burn.
I'm unwell. Like something is wrong with me. Calling Gloria immediately. Because again, Quinlan's hands curled, fingers wriggling at her sides like she could shake the dread and pain away. Hunt said calmly, you want me to handle it. He sees her and cares so much. Like, Umbra Mortis who? We don't know her. Like, this man's comforting her. I'm like, God.
I know.
You're not bad.
I know. That's a hard for you. You want him to be hard for you.
That's what she said.
I know.
It is
They
hard.
flew. Oh. They flew to Asphodel Meadows, not Medlows to be clear, where the crime scene was swarming with people. Bryce is starting to realize she may have some feels for Hunt, that they are like peas and carrots. Gross.
So I feel like Bryce is imprinting and using her honorary pack member bullshit, like just as he had in bulk from her seeing her shoot the target, and instead answered it with a shot of his own, like they were two of a kind, like she could throw anything at him and he'd catch it, would meet every challenge, that wicked feral grin. It is just giving like digging her claws in, imprinting on him. It's Hoa 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 season, and so Twilight's on my mind forever.
That's fair.
There's wolves.
Mm-hmm. We find out the time of death is about 30 minutes ago, and he was a guard at Luna's temple, and he was on his way home. And yeah, of course he was on duty the night the horn was stolen. None of the cameras caught a damn thing, as if the person knew where every camera was. Bryce's brain started... Okay, you guys, podcast peoples, I'm just going to let you into this lovely, lovely Typo. So first off, I wrote Bryce's Brian started squirting. And I need you to know I meant to write Bryce's brain started squirreling.
I saw you laughing and I like wasn't right. I had to scroll up and look at your error.
So
Is that what she named her kitty?
I did. Her Brian, not her Brucey boy, her Brian started squirting. I'm really sorry. And
They're all male names for some reason.
I would really like to apologize to Bookish Wine for sponsored our episode because this is who we are, but you knew that. Just wanted to throw that out there. Bookish Wine, BOOKISHWINE.com. Use code Blakely and Kylie. Back to Bryce's Brian squirting. My bad. Bryce's brain started squirtling. She pulled a map on her phone and started pinning where all the murders happened. She tells them that all of them took place within steps of one of the major avenues on top of ley lines. They flow right through the grate. They flow right through the gates. Bryce says maybe whoever's summoning this demon is drawing upon the power of the ley lines under the city to have the strength to summon it. If all the murders take place near them, maybe that's how the demon appeared. Party girls got skills. I said potty. You guys, that was a struggle, and I apologize. But basically, to sum it up, Bryce's brain squirrel. She's one of us, and she's really smart and figured shit out. I know the squirting and the potty girl really took her from there, but we got through it, and we're gonna keep going. Flynn tries to warn Bryce against Hunt. He's a bad boy, and she needs to be careful. They all go their separate ways, and Hunt super casually asks if her and Tristan ever hooked up. She's like, "You want to tell me about your hookups, Athalar?" And he says, "No, none of mine mattered. Shahar ruined me for everyone else." I fucking roll. She tells him that they never hooked up, but she did have a major crush on him. Bryce tells him about a time she hooked up with the vamp, and I know Kylie's bummed because I didn't go into detail. Do you want to go into detail, Kylie, about the hookup and why she dumped him?
This isn't my chapter, so no. I'm shocked you didn't even like elaborate.
Okay, so basically what happened is he wanted to feed off of her Brian or Bruce, depending on the day, and her at the same time. Like, he wanted to eat twice. And she wasn't into it.
He wanted to be her diva cup.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Gross. But thank you. That's it. That's all I wanted. Thank you.
go to CC Community College about Vamps.
Because you look so uncomfortable saying it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so interesting info here. Vamps were from Flame and Shadow. They all come from hell. They're lesser demons themselves. Their ancestors defected from their 7 princes during the First Wars and fed the Styri Imperial Legion's vital intel that aided in their victory.
The Daystar would have led the angels, maybe everyone, to a freer world, but she'd been extinguished. Another dreamer crushed under the boot heel of the Styri. Shahar was in the court of dreamers for sure. Night court girly.
For surezies. Bryce asks if he still has a thing for Shahar, and he tells her until the day he dies. Bryce started to internally second-guess the vibe she was picking up, and Hunt said, "Quinlan, that isn't to say that I'm not," but was cut off from the people approaching from the other end of the street. That bitch Sabine. Sabine wants her fucking sword. Sabine isn't great with insults and calls her a stupid slut. Bryce whispers to Hunt that she wants to go. They flew to her apartment, and Hunt promises her that they will find whoever's behind this, and for some reason, she believes him. Declan calls, and Bryce goes to tell Hunt. He opens the door, and he was shirtless. And holy balls was he hot. She puts Deck on speaker, and he tells them that someone swapped the footage of the temple during the time the horn theft. And he found out who made the switch. Sabine! You guys, I have a very, very, very controversial take, and I feel like I may be burned for this a little bit.
It's your favorite pastime. Let's go.
I know. I like Hunt better than Cassian.
Interesting.
Because I like Cass. And like the spice is great in book 4, 5, 4, 5, 5. But I'm not a huge Cass gal. But I like Hunt better.
Did Cassian not have enough childhood trauma for you?
Maybe. I mean, he is bastard born. And like I get daddy issues, it's fine, but he doesn't quite. Like if we're talking about bros, because I think they're both bros.
Right.
I'm gonna pick Hunt.
That's fair. I mean, we do get to know Cassian, but not at the level that we know Hunt. And so it's easier to develop an attachment to Hunt because we know him better.
Yeah.
Like, we know him, his government name on a personal level. Like, what's Cassian's middle name?
Bastard.
We've got, Orion Hunt Athalar. So we have a full name here. We don't even know Cassian, so that's fair. All right, we're entering part 3 of the book, The Camp. Chapter 38. I'm going to dramatically read it.
Cool.
No. Hunt was ready to kill Sabine since he saw Bryce tremble before her because that is very out of character for her. I told you I wasn't going to, but here we are.
You went for it. Yeah. Okay.
He has seen Bryce laugh in the face of the Viper Queen, go toe-to-toe with Philip Briggs, and taunt 3 of the most lethal Fae warriors in this city. Who's this girl I see, staring straight back at me? Hunt is fully on board with Sabine's accusation, but Bryce tells him she wouldn't 86 her own daughter from life, even though she doesn't believe it. He then calls Isaiah and has him read Sabine's notes from the night Danica died. Sabine said Danica couldn't stay out of trouble. She could never keep her mouth shut and know when to be quiet around her enemies, and look what became of her. That stupid little bitch in there, still breathing. She really likes stupid little bitch and slut. Like, that's her.
That's all she's got.
That stupid little bitch is in there, still breathing, and Danica's not. Danica should have known better. Hunt, you then asked her what Danica should have known better about, and Sabine said all of it, starting with that slut of a roommate, award-winning stuff. It's enough for Hunt to find motive and go talk to that bag of bitch. They try to figure out why she would want it. Why did I struggle? They try to figure out why she would want it, but it would explain why she swapped the footage and bombed the club to intimidate or distract them. Bryce isn't sold on this theory, despite how much Hunt is selling her on it. Bryce is ready to go for a solo run, despite it being 1 a.m. Hunt would never allow it, though. Hunt was really pressing for it to be Sabine. I feel like he was trying to convince himself, too, with how much Sabine hates Micah and could potentially become prime of the Valbarian shifters. Hunt is the drama.
Yeah, and I get it. It would make everything easier and put in a perfect little bow, but I don't think he believed it either. And I just want to go back to Sabitch. Sabine, I'm sorry, but you slut and bitch are your things you go to. Who fucking cares? Like, if I'm calling someone a slut, that's only, and it matters, like, I think it's an okay insult if you're going to, is it just like a home wrecker? So, but like to call another woman a slut because she fucks people, who cares? Like, that's so stupid to me. Like, that's a dumb insult.
I don't think Sabine is getting dicked down.
I think, yes, so she's pissed about it.
She's jealous,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think that's what it comes down to. She's jealous that it takes nothing for Bryce to get laid. She's mad that her daughter had game. Like,
well,
she's jealous.
they said earlier that Danica doesn't have an ass, and maybe that's hereditary, and she's very jealous of the curves that Bryce has.
It's very possible, like, her insecurities are just being projected.
Like, the only
They're projection.
all she has to say about Bryce is that she's a stupid slut or a bitch. Like, that's all you got? That's why you hate this girl so much? Fucking weird.
She's mad at her game.
Yeah, she's mad at that ass.
My chapter, yeah.
Yep.
Bryce's leg started to get a little achy, but she was trying to outrun her emotions. When they got back to her apartment, she was limping. Hunt asked if she was all right, but she said she was fine and then lied and said it doesn't happen often. Then lies again, saying she got it checked out and then goes to her room. Bryce was checking out those cum gutters. She had a too brief glimpse of those ridiculous stomach muscles gleaming with sweat. And honestly, I feel like Hunt is the only one I can say cum gutters with. Like,
Yeah.
it utterly feels wrong for anyone else. Like, that's Hunt. Cum gutter Hunt. Has cum gutters. He is not,
Mhm.
not a cum.
He's not a cum gutter, but he has them. And if you want to be a gutter for his cum, Bryce, go for it.
You know, I'll take it when he's in my harem. River's harem on his visitor pass.
Yeah, I'll let him visit regularly if he wants.
He's got to work for it, though, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'll let him in before Cass.
Yeah, honestly, same.
That's
What color? I always picture Cassian as a blonde
ew, really?
because of his name.
Oh,
I feel like anything
because
with
of
like
Cassie?
that
You see,
Cassian derivative, like it goes blonde to me.
yeah,
I know it's not accurate at all, but that's just
that's how your brain goes. I get it. We're moving on to Chip 39.
I love Chip Chip.
Who doesn't, you know? Rune took a little trip to the Medwitch office. He happened to believe that this Medwitch is a real hottie. She told him she had a patient but could meet him during her lunch so he could ask his questions. During their lunch, Rune asks where she's from because of her accent. She tells him all of her tutors were from the old part of Peleus. Is that right? I don't think that's right.
Mhm.
That-
That's not.
That's not right. From an old part of a world by the Reagan Sea, which Reagan, I remember, means sovereign or king, and it must have rubbed off on her. All of that area is old. Interesting to just tuck that info away because we don't know where that's at. Rune says he has already asked all the med witches around town, but he has questions for her, but is asking her to keep it a secret. He asks, can you think of any way a magical object that was broken might be repaired when no one could repair it? Do you know how it could be healed? He tells her legend has it was made from magic and could only be used with starborn gifts. She's like, a Fey artifact from the First War? You must be talking about Luna's horn. She says magic and the power of the 7 holy stars could not repair it. But she had a thought it's possible someone had found a way to repair it. She tells him to proceed with caution. They share some words about the dead queen and she wishes him luck. He never even got her name. Curious.
So we know the witch is Hypaxia, but there's no name exchange. Sarah Janet gave hints when she was talking to Rune. She gestured again in the hallway, graceful as a queen. Like, if you didn't have your suspicions on who she was in this book, like, that was a dead giveaway.
And just to kind of elaborate on that, when it comes to other characters that we don't yet know are queens or why, she's intentional in this. Like she did this with, at the time, Selena Sardothian, always talked about being regal or like queen, like movements. It's for a reason. So let's look at anytime she calls somebody a queen and try to figure it out.
She's done it to Nesta. She has done it to Bryce, and then she's done it to Moore. So
Jessica,
obviously,
she did it once with Jessica.
so it's like, you know, all these women deserve these pedestals.
Here for it.
I want to point out some physical attributes on Hypaxia. A white cotton shirt with quarter-length sleeves that brought out her glowing brown skin, the sunlight tangled in her thick night dark hair, her eucalyptus, eucalyptus and lavender scent too deeply. So lavender and eucalyptus are prominent with Silba. Lavender is for color. It lines the path in Antica. Eucalyptus is a salve that Wyrene gave to Elide, and it's also found in Antica. Just a reminder, Silba is the goddess of healing in Throne of Glass. And considering Hypaxia is a meth witch at this moment, I love how this ties in with like the goddess of healing and gentle deaths. Her skin was giving summer court, but her hair is giving night court because Asriel is specifically described as having night dark hair. So Hypaxia like really ties us into Throne of Glass and ACOTAR.
It's true.
Hypaxia said, my tutors were from an old part of Pelium. That's what you were going for by the Reagan Sea. It rubbed off on me. And Sarah J. Maas needs to give us a fucking
I agree. So,
exciting stuff.
witch intel. Witches are Valg, and I want you guys to know when I wrote this, I wrote Venom. Oh. FYI.
Where's your brain?
Whoopsie doopsie. Witches are Valg, and even though they look human, power mostly passed through the female line. Power was inherited from some ancient source that the witches claimed was from a three-faced goddess. I was very loud about that, so you should be paying attention. But witches did pop up in Muggle families every now and then. Gifts were varied, from seers to warriors to potion makers, but healers were the most visible in CC. The line, magic and power, the 7 holy stars, could not repair it. It's kind of an interesting line to me. Just a little intriguing.
No.
No.
Why would that be interesting?
I don't know. It's boring. I take it all back.
Like, why could a power of 7 holy stars? I mean, what is it? Are the Asteri?
Mm-hmm. Not ass, dearie.
You know they got some thick asses. All they do is sit.
Yeah, it's true.
Hmm.
Sit on those fat asses.
That's all I'm going to call it, the ass theory.
Yeah.
The fat ass theory. Like, good for them. It's something that I dream of.
I do think that Sarah, talking about the witches and really bringing up seers being witches, considering what we know about our girl Elaine. I say our girl loosely because I really don't give a care about her, but I'm hoping I will eventually.
I feel like Sarah J. Maas needs to give us like a book solely on witches at this point because I'm like so intrigued by them.
Witches and mountains.
Yeah, all these witches live in a mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're lesbians.
Yeah, totally.
It just seems right.
Mm-hmm. Lesbians for sure.
Yes. Chapter 40, Without a Head Bob. Apparently, old Sandy was terrorizing everyone in her path. At least that is what Isaiah shared when dropping into the gallery to tell Hunt to get his ass to Vic. He reminds Hunt to not fuck this deal with Micah up since blaming it on Sabine is risque business. They continue to yap when Bryce texts Hunt that the roof isn't a pigeon roost. So Hunt asked, Vic can't come here with the news, and Isaiah's like, she wanted to show you in person, and I doubt Jessica would be pleased if Vic comes here. Why can't the Wraith go there? What does Jessica have against her? Or Wraiths in general?
I don't know.
That was interesting. There's a war.
Well, yeah, what house do Wraiths belong to? Yeah.
They're Flame and Shadow.
But that's what she is, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So why wouldn't she want a Wraith that
considerate of you? That's
Yes. Why would you not want someone in your own house to be there? That was just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So Hunt found Isaiah watching him carefully and says, there are worse fates than death, you know, and that's some fucking shadow of 4 for Vic.
Poor Vic.
I don't know why her death, lack of, will forever stick with me. I mean, we know that there's spoilers in this book, and we all know that Vic dies, but not dies. Shit's thrown in a box.
Mm-hmm.
So Bryce keeps changing her name in Hunt's phone. At this moment, it's Bryce Rocks My Socks. And this is obnoxious shit that I used to do. Like word for word, I had an AIM screen name, which was Emo Music Rocks. And saying Rocks My Socks reminds me of that. weird little choice in life.
Wait, Emo Music Rocks was one of your AIM screen names?
Yeah, it was a, test one. It didn't work out. It always went back to like Eat by Loving You Biz.
Yes, I had Miss Jackson 11 because I was obsessed with Michael Jackson. Um, but the one I had longest was Beaster 11. Always 11.
11,
But
11, make a wish.
I
Well, we missed it.
11 11. I used to do this too. I changed the contacts in boy's phone as Bestie Blake, or I think I sometimes would write my future wife Blake.
No idea why any girls hate you. That one.
They don't got game like me, obviously.
Because boys at that time were too lazy to change it, and so it stays that. And then they start dating girls, and then it's like, yeah.
So yeah, that's why girls hate me.
Bryce and Hunt flirt over texting for a minute until Bryce arrives outside for her soggy flight to the committum. He bribes Bryce with a milkshake to take a gander at the city in his arms while it's slick and wet. Turns out she's lovely when she's wet. Bryce refused to verbally admit, but admitted it with her body. Once they arrived, Vic and Bryce were reintroduced, but they were acquainted from the night everyone she loved died.
Wow, you really went for it with this chap.
Bryce describes the dark hair and pale skin and stunning green eyes were all Pangeran heritage, speaking of the vineyards and carved marble palaces. But the Grace Witch Victoria must have been old as hell to have the sort of fluid beauty to steer her body so smoothly. And like all I picture is people like moving really fast in Twilight because there's no other visual. Cats are supposed to be graceful and mine are not. So like, how do you picture people moving smoothly or with feline grace, as Sarah Dan likes to say sometimes?
I don't know, because now all I'm picturing is Twilight and them playing baseball.
Like them running, like I don't know what fluid movement is. I've torn
You've
my
never
ACL.
seen it.
I've never seen a fluid movement in my life.
Yeah, it's not for you.
So maybe that's why I'm having a really hard time understanding that.
You're like, I need a visual here.
Can somebody help me out? Because like I can create all sorts of visuals, but fluid movement, we're out.
Never heard of it. No.
We don't know her. I sprained my ankle carrying a couch cushion. Yeah, I don't have fluid movement.
No. But like, so Kai's not, agility wouldn't be what I would use to describe you. You are, and you can do athletic things, obviously. You're good at that. You've run half marathons and stuff. So we're not dogging on you, but you're just not feline grace wouldn't be what I would use to call you.
I don't know what it means.
No. No.
It's hard being not graceful. So what they found was that a Crystallos was summoned the previous night. Not just anywhere, but in Moonwood. Reminder that it is that bitch Sabine's territory. All they saw was a claw in the corner, and it happened to do laps around the den. Wolf girl, you look guilty as hell. 1-0, right now. Vic had her peeps look for it, but alas, nothing has been found. Bryce is formulating a plan for the night, and no, it's not sexual healing.
Bummer.
Shit was getting too real for Bryce, and Hunt picked up on it immediately. He reads it like a fucking book now, and she likes it. She was sad he pulled away after Vic was side-eyeing them. Like, come on, Vic, just let him get his balls fondled.
Vic is like totally cock blocking, and it may have nothing to do with Bryce and more just the shifty shit that they are planning in the background and not wanting Bryce to get in the way. But like, stop cock blocking. Let them fuck.
Cock blocking, clam jamming, like she's just not letting anybody win. Nobody's coming tonight.
And I love that that's how we're closing out the episode. Thanks for hanging out with us as we continue our journey through Crescent City. We have new episodes every Wednesday. Join us next week as we talk chapters 41 through 48. And once again, big thanks to our friends over at Bookish Wine.
especially with that closing.
Yep. Welcome.
Make sure you follow us on social medias for all our latest updates, theories, and more new book goofing. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a review wherever you listen. All links are in our info, you giggling gal pals. We will see you next week.
Check you later.